Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you this week with your official AEW Dynamite review for Wednesday, December 11th, 2019 from Dallas, Texas. Man, what a show. What a show tonight was. Absolutely great, in my opinion. Not perfect, but it was a great show tonight. We had a lot of great things happen on this show. Some were meh, and I'll talk about it, but mostly this was an amazing show. I hope you guys are having a good day today. I, for one, I had an okay day, and then my day got better with tonight's shows. So, earlier today, I'll do a little story time right now before I talk about AEW Dynamite. As I tweeted out earlier, I was told that I have to help with some winter concert next Wednesday, which I'm pretty angry about because I'm going to be missing AEW and NXT, but that's what DVR is for, so I'll still be able to watch it. I'll just have to watch it later. So I probably won't be live tweeting next week. But the main reason I was angry tonight is this afternoon is because when I got home from school today, I had one key. I have two keys. And I had the wrong key, of course, and I couldn't get in the house. So I tried putting my key into the door to try to unlock it. And while I had my key in the door, my phone fell out of my pocket, and this happened. See the top right there? That carnage is from when it slipped out of my pocket onto the concrete floor, and it shattered. But hopefully we'll get it fixed, and we'll move on from that. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. Before I start my AEW Dynamite review tonight, make sure you guys check out my other videos from last week. If you haven't saw the SmackDown review yet, go check out the SmackDown review I did. Go check out my News and Rumors video from Sunday, where I talked about Tommaso Ciampa retiring if he gets called up to the main roster. I talked about the releases in the WWE, and I talked about Vince McMahon's thoughts on Bobby Lashley and Lana arrest angle from Raw 2 weeks ago. And tomorrow I'll have my NXT review for you guys in the afternoon, and this weekend I will have TLC content for you guys. So look forward to that. But enough talking me about the schedules and all that stuff. I'm just here to talk about AEW Dynamite tonight, so let's go with that. The show kicked off with Alex Reynolds versus Jon Moxley. What happened was Moxley gave Reynolds a clothesline. Moxley gave him a paradigm shift, and he beat him in 10 seconds. Unreal. That's how you do a squash match. That is how you do a squash match. To make the opponent look like a beast. Jon Moxley, in this situation, looked like a beast. But that's what this really wasn't for. This was for the opening promo, because after Moxley's win, the entire Inner Circle came out. You had Jericho, you had Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and Santana and Ortiz. Jericho said, "I have a lot of respect for you, Moxley. Me and you have a lot of history together, and we go back." Talking about his WWE days when they fought. Was it after WrestleMania 32? Yeah, I think it was. Where they had the steel cage, the Ambrose Asylum, and all that stuff. My bad. Jericho said, "We go back to 2016 where we had a feud and I had a lot of respect for you and you came to me for advice and I gave it to you. I gave you advice on how to get over with the fans. And I love that they bring that Jericho brung up when he was feuding with Moxley in 2016 in the WWE. I love it. It's great storytelling. But Moxley didn't say a word at all. And I would have loved if Moxley had a reference of Mitch the Plant, because that would have been hilarious. But at the end of this promo, Jericho says, if Jon Moxley joins the Inner Circle could be much better. The Inner Circle can have their purveyor of violence, and they want a purveyor of violence. So Jericho says for Moxley to go home during the holidays, talk to his wife about this situation, and then after the holidays, come back and let Jericho know if he wants to join the Inner Circle. And they gave him a Inner Circle t-shirt. Great stuff from Jericho, man. Great stuff. Jericho is always a god. But the main question is Jon Moxley going to join the Inner Circle? Oh, no. Absolutely not. What's going to happen is I thought Moxley was going to tear the t-shirt tonight, but we could see him do that in the near future. He could say, no, give Jericho a paradigm shift, and then challenge him to a match at the upcoming pay-per-view, which I'll talk about later. So good stuff from Moxley and Jericho. We then had Cody and QT Marshall versus The Blade and The Butcher, accompanied to the ring by the Bunny, Alley. And I just want to say, this was a very, very great tag team match. I loved it. Cody had some great offense. Tagged in the QT Marshall. QT mostly got beaten down during the match by the Blade and the Butcher. And then we get back from commercial break. QT is still getting beat down. He takes out the Butcher. He's got the Blade to deal with. I think he gave the Blade an enziguri. Gives the tag to Cody. Gives QT a rest. Cody's on a hot streak. And then a few seconds later, Alley scratches Cody in the eyes. Backs up. QT gets the tag. And QT went off in this situation. QT was amazing. Doing a cartwheel and then flying over the top rope. Absolutely amazing. I thought he was going to get the victory when he did the elbow to the Blade. The Blade kicked out at 2. Very, very close fall right there. Very close. And then eventually the Butcher got in. The Blade and the Butcher did their tag team finisher, which I really like. It's like a suplex into a sideways backbreaker. Very clever. And 1, 2, 3, the Blade and the Butcher get their first victory in AEW over Cody and QT Marshall. Again, this was a great match. QT got a lot of shine in this match, and I really appreciate that. I really didn't know who QT Marshall was. I knew he was friends with Cody, and I knew he was picked by MJF to be Cody's partner. I'm guessing MJF picked him because of he might not have a lot of experience and all that stuff. So, but QT proved to us that he can go. He can go in the ring, and he had a breakout performance in my opinion tonight. I want to see more of QT Marshall. Speaking of QT Marshall, he liked my tweet tonight when I tweeted about him and his match. So QT Marshall, shout out to you. The Blade and the Butcher and the Bunny, of course, looked absolutely legit. They looked like great threats to the tag team division, and I was very down on when they debuted and attacked Cody in Chicago, but now seeing them in this match, I'm like, these guys are legit. These guys are going to be huge, and they're going to be future tag team champions. Guaranteed. I want to compare this to the Dark Order. When the Dark Order debuted, nobody knew them. They attacked the Best Friends. And then they didn't really do much. They got involved in the tag team title tournament. Lost in the semifinals to SCU. The Blade and the Butcher, on their very first night, took out Cody Rhodes. And in their very first match, they came out to Pyro, and they beat Cody with QT Marshall. So, yeah, these guys are going to get pushed, and these guys are absolutely legit. So this is great. Blade and Butcher get the victory. We then have a MJF promo. After that, he comes out. He responds to Cody's promo last week. He says, I thought your promo was really cute last week, so I chuckled. With him offering $50 million to MJF, MJF said, Cody, I don't need your stupid money. In fact, I don't need any of the things you offered to me last week. I don't need any of it. And he goes to accept the challenge of Cody Rhodes. I'm like, yes, we're going to be getting Cody versus MJF in the near future. I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be. But at the end of the promo, he said, I have some stipulations. I have some stipulations for this match. But I'm not going to say it in Dallas, Texas. I don't remember the line, but of course Dallas is going to boo MJF out of the building. He got booed out of the building tonight. He said, I'm going to reveal those stipulations in Jacksonville, January 1st. That's it. Is MJF the top promo in pro wrestling? It's either got to be him or Jericho. Or Cody. One of those three. They're gold. They're absolutely money on the microphone. It's amazing. Unscripted promos versus scripted promos. You see what happens? Unbelievable. MJF is a god on the microphone. He has a microphone in his hand and he's getting ready to speak. You stop everything and you just pay attention to the dude. That's basically it. He's a god. And right now, MJF and Cody is my favorite feud in pro wrestling. There you go. Right now, as I speak on December 11th, MJF versus Cody is my favorite feud in pro wrestling right now. It just is. It's amazing. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better in the next weeks and in the build to their match. Next up, we had Big Swole, who I'm a huge fan of after tonight. We had Big Swole versus Emi Sakura. I thought this was a good match. Really good match. Big Swole I think she had like 2 matches on AEW Dark. People seemed impressed with her. And they put her on Dynamite and she stood out. She was amazing tonight. I did compare her to Chris Statlander, but thinking about it more, I feel like Chris is better because she has more experience, and I feel like AEW has more investment into her because she's facing Britt Baker for the number 1 contendership next week. We know that, but I feel like she's more over than Big Swole is. But Big Swole is over with the crowd. She's a great wrestler. I love her wrestling abilities a lot. She's exciting to watch. She's very charismatic, by the way she carries herself. She's amazing. I love Big Swole. On the other hand, Emi Sakura, yeah, I thought she had a good match with Riho at Full Gear, but after Full Gear, she's only went down. And I'm not really invested into Emi Sakura right now. And I feel like AEW should be giving TV time to other women, like Sadie Gibbs and Penelope Ford, but what she got tonight. Um, yeah, basically. But Big Swole got the victory over Emi Sakura, and that's what matters, and that's the right result. Good match, and I want to see more of Big Swole and Dynamite. She impressed me tonight. She really did. We then have a tag team match between Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Now I have a lot to say about this match. This was a great match. I got 3 things to say. 4. Number 1, the match was absolutely great. All 4 of them are fantastic at what they do. Omega, Page, Sabian, and Shawn Spears are fantastic at what they do. First thing I want to say is about Kip Sabian and Kenny Omega. I watched the match on AEW Dark. It was absolutely great. I loved it. And then I watched them tonight. And they were great again. And I imagined, what if let me back that up. They did 2 matches with Joey Janela and Kenny Omega. One on Dark and one on Dynamite. What if we see Kenny Omega versus Kip Sabian on the Dynamite episode soon? I would love to see it. Please make it happen. They have fantastic chemistry together. That's all I'm going to say. And Kip Sabian's a very underrated wrestler. I've liked him ever since his match at Double or Nothing with Sammy Guevara. I've liked him ever since. Second thing I want to say. With Joey Janela taping Tully Blanchard's mouth and tying him up to a steel chair. Do you guys remember on an episode of SmackDown when I think it was Edge feuding with Kane, I think, and he had Paul Bearer wrapped around a wheelchair and taped his mouth, and he was like talking to him, and then he pushed him down the stairs. It kind of gave me that vibe. It was like I was like, it's very similar to that, in my opinion. And then Shawn Spears came, attacked Janela, but Janela gave Spears a forearm, and Spears tried to wrap Tully Blanchard, and then Janela and Spears went to the back and they started brawling. So I'm pretty sure we will be getting another match between Joey Janela and Shawn Spears. If I had to make a prediction when it's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be on that January 1st show in Jacksonville. If I had to make a prediction, it's going to be then. The last thing I want to say. The finish. Kenny Omega giving Sabian the V-trigger. Hangman Page basically coming in. Buckshot Larry, over the top rope clothesline. He ran to Sabian and covered him very aggressively. And Kenny didn't look at him, but Hangman stared very aggressively at Kenny Omega when he was pinning Kip Sabian. So, and then they did a backstage interview where Kenny and Hangman were talking, and Kenny was like, "We got some great chemistry as a tag team, man. We got to be up there in the tag team ranks, and I want to do this again." And it's like, Hangman barely got any words out, and Kenny didn't let him speak. And he's talking about Hangman being the elite, where Hangman clearly took himself out of the elite on an episode of Being the Elite. And just like, Yeah, I mean, next week we're getting Kenny Omega and Hangman Page teaming up again versus the Lucha Brothers. That's going to be a great match. That's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see that. And honestly, I think the Lucha Brothers are going to win. I think Hangman's going to get pinned. After the match, Kenny's going to be helping Hangman at seeing if he's okay, all that stuff. Kenny's going to be walking to the back, and he's going to get attacked by Hangman. I think Hangman Page is going to turn heel next week. He's going to attack Kenny Omega, and we're going to get a feud between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. I would like to see it. I would really like to see a feud between Hangman and Kenny Omega. Hangman needs to turn heel. I feel like. He needs to turn heel. I feel like his steam as a babyface is going down. And that's gone down since his match with Jericho at All Out. So that's what I have to say about that. We got two more matches here. Sammy Guevara versus Luchasaurus with Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, who didn't say a word on commentary. Jericho kicking out Excalibur and Tony Schiavone was hilarious. I forget what Jericho called Tony Schiavone. It was like Chivone or something like that. I'm not really sure. But Jericho was hilarious. So he was on commentary during Sammy Guevara and Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus, he's over as hell with the fans. I mean, everybody. The entire AEW audience, I feel like, loved Luchasaurus. And he's interacted with the Jurassic Express, which is a very lovable group. So they're going to get really, really over going into 2020, in my opinion. And they're going to be in that tag team title picture, hopefully sooner rather than later. But Luchasaurus versus Sammy Guevara, I thought it was decent. I mean, it felt like it didn't get enough time, but I get it because we needed time for the main event, and I wanted more time on the main event than I did this match. But I mean, this was decent for what it was. So Luchasaurus gets the victory with a choke slam to Guevara. Jericho and Hager come in immediately. Jungle Boy attacks Jericho, building up to their match next week. Jungle Boy is pinning Jericho in the ring, actually. It's like a small package. Then Marco Stunt comes in and counts 1, 2, 3. And I thought that was awesome. I laughed. And then Jericho showing a fit with Hager. And next week we're going to get Jungle Boy versus Chris Jericho. And it was confirmed it's a non-title match. It is a non-title match between Jungle Boy and Chris Jericho. Still, title on the line, no title on the line. Jungle Boy is going to be so over after his match with Chris Jericho. It's going to be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Main event time. Main event. Texas Street Fight. We had the Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz of Proud and Powerful. The Young Bucks are making their entrance down the ramp, and they immediately get attacked by Santana and Ortiz. There's a table set up. Brandon Cutler tries to help the Young Bucks. Sammy Guevara comes out. Cutler gets powerbombed through his stage. And then the Bucks get back on offense on Santana and Ortiz. Ortiz gets placed onto a table. Nick Jackson goes up on the top of the ramp. Swanton bomb through a table. That was a crazy spot. I loved it. The main goal for this match was to put each other through the most tables possible. I think so. Because there was like five tables that went through, I think. People saying that all the table spots were overkill. I don't think so, because if you think about it, we had 3 table spots in a span of 1 minute. So, what I like, the stuff I didn't like was like when Santana was going to do a move, and Nick Jackson just kicks his knee, and he lands on the apron and just flops himself through the table. Like I didn't really like that spot. And then you have Santana on the top rope again. He's getting drop kicked. He just, again, flops himself on the table. I mean, that's a spot I didn't like, but I mean, the spot where we had 3 table spots in about a minute, that was very cool. I love that spot very much. Closing sequence, we have, before I get to the closing sequence, we had a crazy spot with Nick Jackson go to a table, and then Matt Jackson comes back. He's got a Dallas Cowboys helmet on his head. Crowd's cheering. Jackson does the double suplex. And then he gets the helmet taken off of him. He gets punched. And Santana spits on the Cowboys helmet. And I laughed because the Cowboys suck. And they're not making the playoffs. So, yeah. Closing sequence. Santana was already put through a table. Ortiz got Meltzer drivered onto 2 steel chairs. 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks win the Texas Street Fight. And next week we're going to get the Young Bucks versus SCU, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This was a fantastic street fight. I loved everything about it, man. It was intense. It was physical. It was really fun, and it got time. And that's an issue in AEW. The main event doesn't get time. Mostly the main event gets 12 minutes or 13 minutes or 10 minutes. This main event got 20 minutes, and it was great from bell to bell. I loved it. Now, all the non-AEW fans, basically the WWE apologists, are going to go on Twitter and they're going to tweet, oh, the Young Bucks are putting themselves over. My bad. The Young Bucks are putting themselves over other tag teams. They're giving themselves tag team title matches. They don't care about anybody else. Listen, the Young Bucks and the entire elite have put everybody over. From Darby Allin to Shawn Spears to Dustin Rhodes to Santana and Ortiz to the Lucha Brothers to Jon Moxley to Pac with Kenny Omega. They've put over so many people. Like they're not even winning a lot of matches. They're not even winning. What was the biggest match they've won up to tonight with the Young Bucks being Santana and Ortiz? Because I can't think of any. Moxley defeated Omega at Full Gear. Cody lost to Jericho. They're putting others over, and they're establishing younger talents. That's what I love about the Elite, and I want them to keep doing that with Cody putting over MJF, Omega, and a feud with Hangman in the future, and yeah, we'll see where the Young Bucks go. I can't see them beating SCU next week. I don't think they should be tag team champions. I don't. But a win tonight doesn't mean they're putting themselves over other tag teams. Because they've put others over before them before. Private Party's another example. The Young Bucks put over the Private Party. And that's all I got for tonight's AEW Dynamite review. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel for some great content on this channel. Once again, tomorrow we're going to have NXT for you guys. I'm going to break that all down. And then this weekend, we're going to have TLC predictions and a TLC review for you guys right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Like this video with a super kick. Comment down below what you thought about tonight's AEW Dynamite show. I would love to know your opinions. And follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. I'm at 772 followers. I would like to get to 800 followers right before Christmas. And if I do, that would be great. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Have a good night, guys.